and things like that. Again, this is just advice. This isn't any hard and fast rules, but these are just some techniques that we suggest that you can use to handle some of these issues here. So remember the tip. Check out some of the other tips. I'm going to post this on our website, but these are just a few tips that might help you get through these road rage incidents that we see on the road over here. So we're going to take another break here. Again, we want to let you know that this is Andy Sharp. You're listening to the Vent Show. Today's topic we're going to start out with here today, and one of the first broadcasts is road rage. So we know that's something that everybody goes through and deals with. So we are going to kick into another song here. This one's going to be by JC Ordonez. It's another fun little track here. I hope you guys enjoy. We're gonna slide into that, and we'll be right back. Again, the Vent Show. You can reach us at ventshow@yahoo.com. You can tweet us at vent_show. Also Gmail. You can Gmail us at realventshow@gmail.com. Again, we're on the Spreaker platform. Once again, just search Vent Show. Facebook, just search Vent Show. We're out there for you, and we want to hear from you. We need your support. We need your likes, shares, and donations. You can donate at the Spreaker.com site right now. But again, let's get into this new track here. This is JC Ordonez, and enjoy. All right, welcome back to the Vent Show. Again, that was JC Ordonez. A nice track there, a little bit of the high energy mix for you. Hopefully, if you're driving and we're talking about road rage today, that helps soothe you a little bit or gets you thinking and bumping to the right attitude and the right feeling today. So again, welcome back to the Vent Show. I'm your host, Andy Sharp. We appreciate you being with us. We hope that you support us. You support the channel and support the effort here that we're doing. Again, we want to make sure that this is an avenue, an outlet for people. Some people need different support systems, and we hope that this is an entertaining way to bring attention to the issues and the way to deal with some of this emotional garbage and the stressors that we have in our lives. All right, so we're going to move into our next topic here. We're going to move into one of our final topics here today, and just in general, I want to lay some ideas out there and get your feedback on here. And so we're talking about the 11 most annoying things in the world. I don't know how they narrowed it down to 11. I don't know. But we're going to go through some of these here. And again, we want to hear your thoughts. You can email us at ventshow@yahoo.com. You can tweet us at vent_show. We're on the Spreaker platform. Just search Vent Show, or Facebook page. Just search for us, Vent Show. So we want to hear from you and get your feelings. Maybe you have great stories about some of these things, and we'd be happy to share that. So it looks like one of the first ones they bring up here on this list here is traveling. So one of some annoying things that happen when you travel. I mean, I can think of some personally that I've had to deal with, but they're talking about when somebody, for instance, relaxes too much on the plane. Okay, now the first thing that comes to mind is somebody's got their feet up or pushing against your seat, the back of your seat, but if they take off their shoes or something like that, I mean, that could be a mess there. It could be problematic, right, for a lot of people. If they snore or they talk in their sleep, so traveling when people relax too much, we know that there's can be some problems with that. And again, we want to hear your thoughts on that. Say sometimes people's curiosity can be annoying. I mean, let's say you're at work, and if you're working on something, you're looking at the computer screen, and you kind of feel somebody behind you, right? So somebody's standing behind you when you're working, kind of watching you. I mean, that's hella annoying. I can say that. I think a lot of us have probably felt that or dealt with that at one time or another. But again, the example they give is when somebody's standing behind you at work. That can be pretty damn annoying. So, how about when you're at a movie theater? In a movie theater and someone's having a loud conversation. I mean, that's hell annoying, right? You paid probably almost $20 if it's a good 3D movie, a new release or something. You can be paying upwards $20 to watch that movie, and you're somebody with a date, or your wife or your friend or something. You're there to share the experience of the movie, not hear somebody's conversation. So if somebody's, especially if they're talking about the plot, right? That's gonna be super, super annoying. So we feel you on that. We hear you on that. And the worst thing for me is the cell phone thing. I mean, still to this day, I don't get how people are so, brain dead sometimes, where they don't understand that the reason why they spend the millions of dollars a year on all those movies just to tell people to turn off their phone is because they're serious about it. So we talked about someone standing over you at work, but how about when somebody's standing too close to you while waiting in line in general? I have a few tactics and techniques I try to use in dealing with that. Some of them may be more entertaining to people than not. But yeah, I mean, they invade your personal space. I mean, that's annoying. That's a problem, right? So that happens, and making sure you get people to respect your space can definitely be frustrating. How about when somebody interrupts you loudly by saying what or huh, like every few seconds? I mean, really annoying. Obviously, they're not listening or they're not engaged in the conversation, and especially if it's if a family member, somebody, if you're working with them, it's probably more expected. But pretty annoying when you don't feel like people are listening to you and they got to say huh and what, huh, and try to fill up time with nonsense instead of being engaged listener, right? How about when somebody sighs or frowns or glares at you? To make sure that that they're annoyed. They give you the look, they give you the resting with the RBF, right, or something like that. It can be annoying. Again, it's a little bit about controlling our feelings. We don't want to always let people know what we're thinking and what we're gonna do or say all the time. Keep them guessing. but that certainly can be an annoyance, right? How about when somebody slams a door to make sure everybody else knows they've arrived? Now this would be a good one. I don't know if I can say I knew anybody that did that on purpose. Probably happens more than not. Maybe you listeners can share a good story about how that happens or how you've experienced that in your lives. So how about when somebody says, "Oh, I knew that," or "Yeah, I told you so," to make sure that they tell you or try to show you how intelligent they are. "Oh yeah, I knew that. I already knew that." You're pretty annoying, right? And then they offer nothing to support their thoughts on the subject. Just kind of stealing yours and dittoing everything, right? Ditto. It can be pretty darn annoying. How about this one? This is a huge problem. We know it. We all know it's a problem. Somebody is way too into their smartphone to notice you. I mean, if you're out on a date, especially, or something, you're trying to spend time with your husband or your wife or your kids, and I think we're all guilty of this sometimes, and we don't even know it. But they're way too into their cell phone. The quality time should be spent with each other, interacting with each other, listening to each other. I mean, even if you got to think of a corny joke or two to bring that to that dinner, or that time that you're going to spend with that person. I mean, that should be the positive. That should be something that we use to build ourselves and to build a relationship with these people that we're spending time with. I mean, you've heard the stories of some people say they go out with a group of friends and they put their smartphones in a bucket or in the middle, and whoever grabs it first pays the bill. I mean, that might be one way of doing it, but just being aware and being cognizant of other people's feelings and thinking like, hey, who are you there to spend that time with? I mean, you're there to spend it with T-Mobile or either cell phone company or cell phone provider, and maybe not T-Mobile. And we certainly don't want to make it sound like T-Mobile's bad, but with your cell phone company or anybody like that. I mean, you want to be engaged with that person. I mean, imagine, what did people do before cell phones? I mean, I can't even imagine. Maybe they had conversations, and that would be a worthwhile thing to do, is have some good conversation, I think. So, I'm going to try to move down here. I'm having a little sticky here on my terminal. But let's see what else we got here. Boy, this isn't good at all. Like, so what if somebody is laughing or is making light of your misfortune? I mean, you don't want, nobody deserves to get, kicked in the D, in general. But if you're going through something, you have the strength to share it and talk with somebody. I mean, certainly they should be understanding, at least be a good listener. I mean, I think that's the lost art right now, is being a good listener. We need to show respect to each other and just be a good listener. I mean, the short amount of time we have with people in general, whether even if it's somebody you're just meeting briefly or doing business with or interacting with at a restaurant or store, I mean, that time is so minimal. And I think the more respect we can show each other, the better it is for everybody. And not only that, but it makes you look like a more engaged person and more control of what it is in your life that you're doing. So, how about when somebody stares intently at you for no reason and keeps on staring? Now, I can imagine this probably may happen more to the ladies than the guys, and be quite honest with you, that would be really creepy. It would be really creepy if you're the starer or the staree. I got to imagine there's an uncomfortableness about it, and I guess I would think about a couple of ways of handling that without saying anything. I mean, I guess the first one would be to remove yourself from the line of sight from that person, but that would be very creepy. So yeah, we don't want to be creepy. So don't do creepy things like staring at people or grabbing people or things like that. We want to, again, be respectful. That's what we need to do. We need to have good conversation. We need to have dialogue. We need to be respectful and be cool to each other. We don't need to carry around emotional baggage and emo trash, as I like to call it. So leave it here at our doorstep.